You're both at training?
I won't comment on
You're going to be part of one of the great modern clubs at Geelong. The success was enormous. But 2006, you have a frustrating season. You get to the end of the year, you've been climbing, and then you just sort of hit this flat spot in 06. And leading teams famously come in and sit down. Can you remember how significant that was for the team and what was said to you by your peers specifically?
Yeah, I remember that very well. And if you go back a couple of years, we made a prelim final in 04, I think it was, against the Lions, and then that semi-final against Sydney. And so we went into the 05 season, expecting to play finals football and maybe even, finish in the top four. Obviously, we had a disappointing year. We missed finals, and the club at that time felt as though, some changes needed to be made around the football club. And that was part of the reason why they employed leading teams. Yep. And a lot of that was just, we felt that we had some really great leaders, but it was just to, I guess, create an environment where guys felt comfortable enough to challenge each other. And also just create some structure around our leadership group. And one of those exercises that I took part in was sitting in front of the group and them telling me the things that they believed I was doing well and the areas that I needed to improve. And I think as a young man, it was really hard to take, because I was told at that time that I think they said to me that they believed that I could be the Chris Judd of the Cats. Yep. But for that to happen, I needed to train harder and needed to train with more intensity. And I'm just so thankful now to those guys that they would care about me enough to give me that honest feedback. Yep. And that was a real turning point in my career. Obviously went on to have a great season 07, and we went on to win the premiership.
Leading teams, by the way, leading teams basically just paying people to come in and make you feel bad. I think my mother's the president. Hey, these are the flags, Murray.
This is the first one. I mean, you come in 07 and you do an absolute number on Port Adelaide. How satisfying, obviously. 09 was remarkable. What was it like to be in this group at the time, Gaz, when you're powerful and you know you're good and you've got great players all over the place? Take us inside that Geelong team.
Yeah, I think it was just the belief within the group, and I think that's really important for any young side, and we were a young side at that time. We knew we had a really talented list, but for us to go on and have success like that, we needed to train harder, and that was some of the things that we spoke about with leading teams. So, to watch that footage, it obviously means so much to me. It had been 44 years up until that point, from the club winning their last premiership, and I can still remember after the game being down in the rooms with guys like Billy and my dad and guys that have played in those 4 losing grand finals, and just seeing how much it meant to them.
So would it have happened? I mean, there's this one famous bit of vision, of course, at the end of the 09 grand final. One of the great grand finals. It was so tight. Look at the scoreline and the time in the last quarter. The famous Matty Scarlett toe poke. You're right in the middle of it all. How often have you replayed this 30 seconds of football through your brain?
Yeah, I've seen it a lot. I mean, St Kilda were a fantastic team that year, and I honestly believe that grand final could have gone either way. Yep. But I was just so proud of the boys in the way they played out that last quarter, because I can still remember going in at half-time, and I think it was Darren Milburn that gave a couple of free kicks away. They kicked a couple of goals, and I can still remember Mark Thompson saying to him, "If we lose this, it's on you." And so I kind of felt for him, and I know that the boys, really wanted to step up and really finish out the game. And that passage of play was obviously really important. Matty Scarlett still tells me I should have handballed the ball to him, because he would have kicked the goal. But
Gaz, Matty Scarlett also won the Cairns Total Physio toe poke of the day. That's probably the big takeaway there.
You're involved in all the big moments down there at Geelong, and especially this one at Cardinia Park, when Barmy goes into the toilet while you're doing a post-match